Hi Pisces, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly horoscope for the month of June. And it's a really intense month. We begin the month with two planets out of bounds, both being personal planets, Mercury, which is communication, and Venus, which is what you value, how you earn money. It represents how you create things, and it represents love and how you partner. And Venus has been out of bounds since April 2nd and will be until July 1st of this year. And Venus is actually retrograde too. Venus retrogrades once every 18 months, and it retrogrades in the sign of Gemini every 8 years. And it's in your sector of home and family and emotional foundation. And this is where you're reassessing. Venus retrograde brings people from the past into our lives, and people resurface. It's reevaluating your own needs. It's representing, hopefully helping you to reconnect to feeling secure in a very difficult time, and a great time to fix up your house, your home. Decorate, plant your garden, whatever you need to do to make yourself feel good at home, and to just give yourself some creativity. And the North Node of Destiny now is transiting in your house of home and emotional foundation until January 4th of 2020, and that is the focus. So it's very much on security. I know, again, we're in a turbulent time, but that's what you're meant to be going towards this next couple of years. And home is very much a focus. And the sun is transiting in this area of your chart until June 20th. So a lot around home, family, real estate is emphasized for you. And Mars is also transiting in your sign, and that can make you feel a little more irritable than normal. Mars transiting in Pisces is not a very active placement, although obviously right now is an exception. But that's because the lunar eclipse is going to have an exact square to Mars, and that intensifies things very much. But Mars is transiting in your sign until June 27th in your first house of self and new beginnings. Could make you feel agitated, but it is a good time to get you going on things and to initiate new beginnings, because then it'll be transiting in your house of income and money until January 3rd of next year. And it'll be retrograding in that sector in the fall from September 9th until November 13th. So right now, kind of get things going. I know a lot of planets are retrograde, so it's a time of review. It's eclipse period, so things are very crazed, and there's a sense of urgency and really scattered energy, because there's a lot of mutable energy in the sky right now. We are in Gemini season. The nodes of fate are now in Sagittarius and Gemini, and Mars is transiting in your sign, which is mutable. So things just morph in all different directions, but very emotionally based too, because Mars is transiting in your sign, which is so sensitive, and Mercury is now in the sign of Cancer, and it will be until August 4th. It's retrograding on June 18th at 14 degrees of Cancer, and it will station direct on July 12th at 5 degrees of Cancer. So this also is emotional. It's very family based, and this is retrograding in your fifth house of romance and creativity and self-expression. So again, maybe this is a good time for you to tap into creativity. You're a very creative water sign. You're ruled by Neptune, which is the octave of Venus, and very intuitive and very spiritual on the higher level. On the lower level, for all of us, Neptune can make us want to escape, and Neptune is uh, very strong this month too. Mars is really strong, but the Sun in Gemini squares Neptune on June 11th, and that can reveal things and bring things to light and uncover deception. And on the 13th of June, Mars meets up with Neptune in your first house, and that could make you feel very tired and very downtrodden. So just kind of really practice self-care too, because it's going to be a busy summer. And because the energy is scattered and there is Neptunian energy, I will also say that in case I neglected to say, the lunar eclipse happens. So we've got Venus squaring Mars on June 2nd, and Venus is transiting in Gemini, and it's squaring Mars in Pisces, and that's impassioned energy, but they become exact on the 2nd, and there's a lot of friction, and Venus is retrograde and out of bounds, and that amplifies that up too. And then we have Venus meeting up with the Sun the following day for an annual conjunction, which is a nice aspect, and that falls in your nice conjunction, and that falls in your house of home and family, and honoring that energy. And then on the 5th of June, we have lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Sagittarius, and that falls in your house of career and life goals, and that is squaring your Mars in your sign exactly in the first house. So there could be things that come to fruition professionally for you. There could be also some issues with clients potentially, because in this lunar eclipse, we have Mars squaring Venus, and we have the full moon opposing Venus in Gemini, and Venus is close to the Sun in Gemini. So again, a lot of challenges around relationships. Your being aware of this is just kind of hoping to, quell the anger, the irritability, and try to use it in a very creative way and get to work and motivate you, because Mars is transiting in your first house for the first time, it'll be there. This is a new 2-year cycle for you. So you want to also get things done. And later in the fall, Mars will be retrograde from September 9th till November 13th. And that is not a time to launch something new. So even though we have a lot of retrograde energy, if there is something you need to launch, you have a short window, I think ideally of July and August, because Venus is retrograde until the 25th of June. Not ideal if it's something really big. If you can't, then, it's better, I think, than Mars retrograde in its rulership in Aries. So, and Mars retrograding in your house of income and how you earn money. So I think that just, it's going to be very intense eclipse, even though generally it would be not as big of a deal. But eclipses are unpredictable. The 20th of June, the summer solstice begins, and that's when the sun enters 0 degrees of Cancer, and that also falls in your house of creativity and romance. And that's a time when the sun stops for 3 days, and you review what your goals are. It's the beginning of summer. And then shortly after, we have a total solar eclipse, big deal, at 0 degrees of Cancer, and that falls at the world axis. The moon is in the sign it rules. That intensifies it. The north node of fate is only 1 degree away from this new moon, so they're very closely conjunct. And definitely set intentions that day, honor the energy. That eclipse is a little bit easier. Well, again, eclipses are very unpredictable, as I said, and I keep saying, but at least in this case, Mars in your sign, transiting Mars, is forming an aspect of opportunity to Jupiter, the luckiest planet, and Pluto, the planet of empowerment, both in Capricorn, and that could help to get things going. But definitely that's going to hit everybody because it's at the world axis. It's going to hit people on the world stage and big news events, and we're feeling all that energy now because we are in eclipse season. And at the end of June, we have a Jupiter-Pluto conjunction that falls at 24 degrees of Capricorn, and that's an aspect of transformation and healing and empowerment, and that falls in your house of friends and groups, and that's where that whole Capricorn lineup fell for you. And when it occurred on January 12th, when we had that Saturn-Pluto conjunction at 22 degrees of Capricorn, that fell in your house of friends and groups and how you network. This is an excellent energy for connecting with like-minded people. It's great if you're looking to, if you work for yourself and you're raising your social media. The 11th house represents social media and the internet and networking of all forms. Again, with Venus retrograde, a lot of people from the past will come into your life again this summer. With Mercury retrograde at the end of, well, in the middle of June through July, and then, clearing its shadow, and then in Cancer until the beginning of August. A lot of people, a lot of communication for you, I feel. So a lot of networking professionally, but this is eclipse season. It's going to be a lot happening. So I wish you a lot of luck. Use your creativity and your spirituality and practice self-care right now. All right. Thank you.